Happy New Year's Eve, everyone, and welcome to my final review of 2024. As we close out this year, I want to thank you all for helping me reach this channel over 1,000 subscribers. It's been an exciting journey, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this channel grows in the future as I keep fine-tuning my content with every single video. To close out the year, I'm continuing the tradition I started last year by recapping my favorite series of the year. Keep in mind, this list is based on my personal picks, so if you have your own favorite show, let me know in the comments below. Let's exchange some highlights and talk about the best television had to offer in 2024. Before we dive in, for those who are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe so they don't miss what's coming next year. And now, let's jump into my top 10 series of this year. Number 10, Creature Commandos Season 1. Starting off with a series that had serious internal debate on whether I should include this due to its status as a series that is still airing. While I would probably have ranked this series higher if it was complete, James Gunn's first official series since taking over the DC franchise promises an amazing future for what's to come. The series introduces Task Force M, not to be confused with Task Force X, also known as the Suicide Squad. This team consists of being categorized by Argus as monsters rather than traditional human entities. As with many of James Gunn's previous works in the superhero genre, the series centers on a group of misfits who are forced to work together under extraordinary circumstances. Instead of making these characters mere vehicles for the action scenes, across the first 5 episodes, the series already provides humanizing backstories and character depth, transforming these so-called monsters into misunderstood individuals who have taken a wrong path in life. Each character stands out as unique, challenging the so-called label of monster. This new DC era begins with an intriguing narrative that teases viewers with hidden Easter eggs hinting at other DC characters coming to the franchise. This series feels like an exciting adventure, and if you haven't started watching it yet, now is the perfect time to dive into this thrilling tale of misunderstood monsters and see how it shapes the future of the DC universe. Number 9, Tracker Season 1. The first season of Tracker establishes a compelling foundation for its story, blending family secret with an unconventional line of work, taking on reward money. The season not only introduces viewers to Colton Shaw's noble efforts to help those in need, but also delves into the mysteries surrounding his family's past, creating a multi-layered narrative that captivates from the start. At the heart of the story is Colton Shaw, a protagonist defined by his integrity and resourcefulness. Although he doesn't carry a badge, his commitment to carefully investigating each reward makes him an instantly likable and heroic figure. His ability to track down missing people and uncover the truth behind their disappearance provides plenty of episodic intrigue, but it's the deeper story behind his character that truly drives this season. Throughout the first season, viewers are offered glimpses into Colton's mysterious past. As a child, he and his siblings were uprooted by their parents to live in the woods for reasons that remain shrouded in secrecy. This already intriguing setup is further enriched by the revelation that his father's death, an event fraught with mystery, left the family, but Colton especially, fractured and burdened with unanswered questions. Colton's survival skills, instilled in him by his father, now serves as both a means of livelihood and a tool for unraveling the truth about his family's past. The search for answers about his father's life and death becomes an emotional narrative core of the season. Colton must navigate the unresolved tension of his childhood while taking on the challenge of his unique profession. This dual focus, balancing his present-day heroics with the quest of his personal closure, makes Tracker a standout series, offering viewers a protagonist unlike any other in serialized television. Number 8, Blue Bloods Season 14. The final season of Blue Blood returns to the essence of what made the series resonate with the audience, a heartfelt exploration of family and duty. This season reflects on the Reagan family's enduring impact, both as pillars of New York justice system and as multi-generational family navigating the complexities of their shared heritage. Across its run, the series has showcased each Reagan's growth, with some ascending to leadership roles in both the NYPD and the DA's office. This final season leans into the pride and responsibilities tied to the Irish-American roots, rooted in the legacy that began with their ancestors as some of the city's first police officers. Legacy becomes the defining theme of this final chapter, shaping the choices and reflection of each character. Those who were rookies both professionally and mentally in the beginning of the series are now veterans and are now confronting the inevitable, passing the torch. Their focus shifts towards imparting the values they've upheld to a new generation, posing the poignant question of how the Reagan name will evolve beyond the precinct and the courtrooms. The iconic Sunday dinner table, a symbol of Reagan unity, remains the emotional anchor of the series. These scenes transcend the show's police procedural elements, portraying a family bounded by love, tradition, and shared purpose. Each dinner reminds viewers that the strength of Reagans isn't just their commitment to justice, but in their unwavering commitment to one another. As the season unfolds, the balance between the professional obligation and personal legacies takes center stage. The series doesn't shy away from asking the difficult questions about what lies ahead for the Reagans, but no matter how their individual path diverges, the show reinforces one constant. The family's bond will always bring them back together to the dinner table every Sunday. It is the unshakable unity that defines Blue Blood and cements it as a legacy as a heartfelt celebration of family and duty. Number 7. Resident Alien Season 3. The third season of Resident Alien takes on a more serious tone, diving deeper into the existence of aliens and the emotional realities Harry is forced to confront with. Over his time and patience, Harry has undergone significant growth in understanding emotion, a stark contrast to the comedic undertone that defined the earlier seasons. However, this season shifts gears, focusing on the ominous perception of grey aliens, a threat that the series has been teasing since its inception. The danger they pose is no longer theoretical, as their presence looms over not just the town of Patience, but the entire world. A major revelation this season is that grey aliens have been operating on Earth, creating hybrids with human and abducting people, including some of the series' main characters. This plot development adds a thrilling layer of urgency, pulling previously uninvolved characters into the alien-centric storyline. The expanded involvement of the ensemble cast creates an intriguing dynamic as they unite against the grey aliens, bringing a fresh energy to the narrative. Amidst the escalating conflict, the investigation into the grey aliens stirs up the question about the importance of family. For Harry, this season is a journey of emotional evolution as he experiences his first love. His newfound awareness leads to cascades of challenges and questionable decisions, especially when weighed against his mission to stop the grey aliens. This growth also sheds light on Harry's parenting missteps from the previous season, offering both closure and a new layer to his character. Harry is not alone in facing the trials of family and relationships. Every main character undergoes significant development as they confront the harsh realities of life. The interference of the grey aliens becomes a catalyst for growth, forcing them to let go of their crutches and deepen their bonds with their loved ones. These heartfelt arcs give the season an emotional core that resonates beyond the sci-fi elements. As the battle against the grey aliens rages on, the season concludes with a lingering question: can Harry and his friends truly stop an apocalyptic event? The stakes are higher than ever, leaving viewers eager for answers in the seasons to come. Number 6. SEAL Team Season 7. The final season of SEAL Team resonates with a single, haunting sentiment: war will find the last words. In the wake of Bravo Team's bold action to make command acknowledge the mental health and brain injury issues faced by the soldiers, the team is benched, awaiting their next orders. When they return to active duty, they face a new style of warfare: full-spectrum operation, aimed at protecting US soft power assets while disrupting those of their enemies. As the season unfolds, it becomes painfully clear that despite Bravo Team's desire for change within the military, those in command remains resistant to meaningful reforms. The military machine continues to train and recruit new SEALs, replacing those no longer fit for duty, rather than preserving the dignity of those who have given the most on the battlefield. This harsh reality underlines the idea that war consumes many of its participants, and those who cannot find a way to escape will either face the choice of embracing it for profit or waiting until the inevitable bad day arrives. Jason Hayes, who has sacrificed more than anyone, embodies this truth. After dedicating years of his life to the SEALs, his battle with traumatic brain injury, or TBI, makes him the perfect representation of a soldier who knows it's time to walk away but finds himself unable to do so. Despite finding a sense of balance in his personal life and making substantial progress with his TBI treatment, Jason remains tethered to Bravo Team and the inescapable pull of war. Even as Bravo Team evolves with the new members, and those who were there from the beginning escape the cycle, Jason continues to lead, a man unable to break free from the grips of war, no matter how much it cost him. The final season leaves a lasting impression, portraying the brutal truth of soldiers' life. War defines them, shapes them, and ultimately leaves them searching for an end that may never come. Number 5. Fallout Season 1. As more and more games have transitioned into the realm of television series, Fallout Season 1 achieves the same level of greatness as other standout adaptations in recent years. The series successfully weaves a narrative that appeals to newcomers, while expanding the lore of the franchise, ensuring avid fans feel included as well. This delicate balance is no small feat, making Fallout a worthy addition to the growing list of acclaimed games that has inspired a television series. The season introduces viewers to 3 separate narratives, each unraveling pieces of a larger story. These narratives bring fresh elements to light while addressing long-standing fan theories within the Fallout community. Unlike adaptations such as Halo or The Last of Us, which takes place in an alternate universe, Fallout builds a story that integrates seamlessly with the existing lore. It incorporates familiar organizations, creatures, and setting that survived the nuclear fallout, creating a world where nothing is quite as it seems. Each storyline is layered with deception, presenting a compelling breakdown of the unfolding mysteries. One standout mystery is the character known as the Ghoul, whose identity eerily mirrors someone from before the fallout. This mystery, alongside the question about the origins of the nuclear fallout itself, forms the backbone of the season's intrigue and keeps viewers engaged. As the season progresses, these mysteries deepen. Why have some characters from the pre-Fallout era seemingly not aged decades after the catastrophe? The show also delves into the shadowy machination of Vault-Tec, the franchise's notorious vault distributors. Through propaganda and even orchestrating the fallout, Vault-Tec's darker aspirations comes to the forefront, exposing their ruthless efforts to draw consumers into their vaults. While many questions are answered, others linger, especially regarding factions from the Fallout universe that remain unexplored. The affiliations and connections to Vault-Tec's grand plans hints at a rich narrative possibility for future seasons and games. Number 4. The Penguin, Season 1. The continuation of Matt Reeves' Batman franchise delves deeply into the core aspects of Gotham, focusing on its stark economic disparities and the criminal underworld that influences nearly every facet of the city. Set just days after the events of the Batman, the series centers on the Falcone family as they struggle to maintain their grips on power in the wake of Carmine Falcone's death. What sets this series apart is its ability to captivate audience even without relying on its comic book roots. Stripping away the superhero context, the narrative's organized crime-style approach to storytelling, just like the one in The Sopranos, will remain just as compelling. This grounded, character-driven exploration positions the series as a standout crime drama all on its own. At its heart is the series' namesake, Oswald Cobblepot, aka the Penguin. As he forges allegiances and navigates power struggles and betrays them in the same time, the Penguin faces oppositions from formidable figures from the comic books, like Sophia Falcone and Salvatore Maroni. His journey to claim the top spot in the criminal underworld is fraught with moral dilemmas, testing the limits of his resolve and shaping him into a very different Penguin than the one introduced in the film or at the beginning of the series. This transformation is not just a thrilling narrative arc, but also a rich character study. The series brings depth to the Penguin, elevating him from a minor film role to a central figure. By the finale, he and the survivors of this gritty journey emerges as significant threats to Batman in the franchise's next chapter. Number 3. Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 2. The second half of the final season of Cobra Kai elevates the stakes to unimaginable levels, taking the series from its familiar settings in the valley to the global stage of the Sekai Taikai. For the first time, Miyagi-Do and Cobra Kai are no longer simply rivals within their small local bubble. They are now part of the larger world of karate, facing off against the best students and masters from across the globe. This expansion transforms the series into something much bigger than its origins, delivering a final chapter filled with both excitement and high-stake drama. The tournament in Barcelona serves as the emotional and narrative centerpiece of the season. Fighters from Miyagi-Do, who had members from all different dojos around the valley, unified under a single banner, despite their differences, must face off against formidable competitors, including the ruthless Iron Dragon Dojo, a former Sekai Taikai champion. The mix of emotion is palpable: pride, determination, and sadness, knowing this may be the last time these characters share the same stage. The unexpected defection of Tori to Cobra Kai only adds to the tension, creating a sense of danger and unpredictability both in and outside the arena. What makes Part 2 particularly compelling is its seamless blend of nostalgia and new challenges. While the fights in the tournament are thrilling, the series doesn't shy away from the street battles and training that spills into the vibrant streets of Barcelona, adding a layer of danger and unpredictability. Meanwhile, the gradual unraveling of Mr. Miyagi's past connects his legacy as Daniel LaRusso's original master to the present, deepening the mystery surrounding his history with the Sekai Taikai. The haunting parallels between his experience and the current events heightens the emotional stakes, leaving viewers wondering how the final part of the series will tie everything together. Cobra Kai has transformed itself from a story of underdogs learning to protect themselves to a global narrative about the transformative powers of karate reflects how far the series has come. By pushing its characters to their limits and uniting them against a shared challenge, the show teases a final act that is as emotionally charged as it's action-packed, making it a fitting conclusion to a story years in the making. Number 2. X-Men 97 Season 1. This series came very close to taking the top spot, but ultimately, it landed in the second place for one key reason: a single standout episode that I'll talk about shortly. That episode is the primary factor behind its high ranking. The reboot continuation of X-Men 97, the animated series, brings the audience to a nostalgic trip while escalating the themes and messages from the original show, a series that for many was considered ahead of its time. By diving deeper into prejudice and hatred towards mutants, the show takes a more mature approach, reminding viewers that although the X-Men are heroes, they're also vulnerable. They can hurt and sometimes even be killed. The original animated series was the first of its kind, introducing audience to the complex world of mutants long before the X-Men movies brought these characters to the big screen. Its bold storytelling and focus on social issues made it a trailblazer, and this continuation carries that legacy forward. This strong message of prejudice and division as we see our beloved characters tested in ways they have never before. The narrative feels heavier and more poignant, making each moment resonate deeply. Meanwhile, the time that has passed since the original series highlights just how much the animation industry has advanced. The improvements in animation quality elevates the viewing experience, seamlessly blending nostalgia with modern artistry. Episodes like Remember It solidifies this reboot as not just a continuation, but as an evolution of what made the X-Men the animated series so impactful in the first place. The despair reached its peak as Magneto, Gambit, and Rogue faced off against the Sentinel invention created to annihilate mutant kind. Their loss in this battle underscores the overwhelming odds they face. Watching both new and familiar mutants like the Morlocks, who believed Genosha could finally be a place they belong, fall victim to unimaginable brutality was devastating. Magneto, who had promised the Morlocks safety, fought valiantly to protect them to the very end. His failure to save them, despite his strength and resolve, was a crushing blow. The massacre of so many mutants was tragic enough, but Gambit's ultimate sacrifice to save his kind was utterly heartbreaking. As a core character since the very beginning, his death leaves a profound void, serving as a harrowing reminder of the stakes the X-Men face and the devastating cost of their struggle. Number 1. Shogun Season 1. It has been a while since I've been invested in a series such as this one. The first season of Shogun, adapted from the novel Shogun by James Clavell, brings the audience into the world of feudal Japan, where the careful approach to storytelling, especially in terms of authenticity and historical accuracy, the series successfully immerses viewers into the era it portrays. Watching this series weekly has been an exciting journey to say the least. As there is a notable lack of narrative based in feudal Japan within the Western media, this collaboration between the West and Japan is particularly fascinating. Shogun is not just a means of entertainment, it grips the audience, leaving them eager for more every time it airs. It transcends the source material by crafting an emotional arc that keeps viewers questioning where the narrative will proceed at every turn. The deception and betrayal of feudal Japan are vividly portrayed. Warlords, many of whom are inspired by historical figures, are shown scheming their way to power. At the heart of this story are three key characters: Lord Toranaga, Lady Mariko, and John Blackthorne, each tied to the destiny of Japan's unification. For Lord Toranaga, this is not just a political ambition, but a deeply personal quest to honor the late emperor and secure his own survival amidst relentless oppositions, even within his own fief. The first season of Shogun sets itself apart from other adaptations by maintaining a sharp focus on honoring the culture it depicts. The production team incorporates numerous Japanese actors and advisors to ensure authenticity, which gave each scene a unique and immersive quality. Not only does Shogun bring feudal Japan to life, but it sets a new standard for historical drama collaboration between the East and the West. Although the material from Clavell's novels have been fully adapted, I am eagerly anticipating the next season. It promises to delve into actual historical events, and I look forward to seeing how the story unfolds as the first season has won an Emmy this year. This year delivers some unforgettable shows, proving that television continues to push boundaries and tell stories that truly resonates with us all on some small and at times deep level. If you haven't already, check out my video on Shogun to see why it has left a strong impression on me, and stay tuned as I'll be diving into more of these shows that I've covered early next year. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you soon in the next review episode.